Good news, you can tell I found my red Super Maga shirt, sweater. I haven't, it was in the back of a closet. I was like, damn, I finally found it. It's been like months. But this Steven Crowder joint, this kind of discussion, this back and forth is important to me for three reasons. And let me share the pieces of the contract. Props to Jeremy Boring of the Daily Wire. He was transparent. He went out and said, "Here's the well, it's not a contract; it's an offer sheet, but uh, he gave the receipts so we can actually look at it." The reason why Daily Wire did this is because they're concerned, and they should be concerned because I'm going to have to double check to see if I'm still subscribed. I like Daily Wire. I've talked about how great, like they got a roster of superhero intelligence and marketing and entertainment people from Candace Owens to Matt Walsh, and the rest of them, Michael knows, and all of them. But uh, this is concerning to me. And it's not surprising, but Steven Crowder exposing it makes me look at it and say, I'd rather give, if I'm going to subscribe to somebody, I'd rather subscribe to Broken Traditions, who was just on the show. I would rather subscribe to somebody like that than this monolith that's really not helping anything. Here's the first part. This ad drop, if Crowder is boycotted or dropped by more than 50% of his then extant, so his existing advertising partners, so that means 50% of the revenue from those partners, and the company is not able to replace them within 90 days, then the fee will be reduced by 25% until such time as that ad revenue has been restored for a period of 90 days. I gave Jeremy Boring credit for the whole Jeremy Razors things when Harry Razors went against them. And I don't know what this is. This is actually supporting what Harry Razors did, if I'm interpreting this right. If somebody, if people successfully boycott Crowder, what is the incentive for Daily Wire to go get more advertisers for Crowder, who will just, get boycotted potentially? And then not only that, if they can boycott Crowder, they can boycott anybody else at Daily Wire. So you would have other people at the Daily Wire wanting them to just cut Crowder off, and he would lose some money off of his contract if he signed it. Not a fan of that. You can find something else for him to work to do. You can't be afraid of work, but I understand you have to make the revenue up. So you gotta find another way to make the revenue up, is the way that I would look at it. Here's the heart of it too. I'm gonna just go over the heart of this and then end with, I think Crowder is missing. Crowder's takeaway is not my takeaway. His takeaway is not any solution, not the final solution. I mean, he can do what he wants. I like where his passion is, where he's going. He talks about election integrity. I'm very big on that. Daily Wire is not very big on that. He wasn't a good fit for them, but at the end of the day, I'm siding with Crowder on these specific issues, these three screens I'm going to show you, and I don't think Crowder, however, though, has the answer. Tim Pool doesn't either. Tim is the closest one getting to it on his show. I'll end with that. But back to this content strike. If any of the major platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify issues a content strike, other than, for the whole Daily Wire, which I don't see happening. They're in bed with them, basically. Big tech. Such a Crowder content cannot be monetized on such platform, and the company is not able to resolve the issue. So if he gets a strike and they can't resolve the issue in 90 days, they're going to take off. It's a quarter. 90 days is basically a quarter of the year. They'll take a quarter off his money. And then if he's permabanned, if he cannot release content on any of these platforms because of being banned, then the fee will be reduced 20%, 10%, whether it's Facebook, Spotify, or YouTube. And that's where the problem lies. And that's where Crowder is absolutely right. If they are going to structure a deal that's based on you being in line with YouTube, everybody's got YouTube strikes that are just ridiculous. Then that really softens your approach. That really has you walking on eggshells. Imagine if you had a deal like that and you thought you said the wrong thing on YouTube then a quarter of your money's gone. That's not a way to really operate. And that does support the big tech censorship. So Daily Wire doesn't have to do anything. No, they don't owe anybody any money. And Steven Crowder doesn't owe them anything. So Daily Wire can do these type of deals, and Steven Crowder can expose them if he wants. He's not breaking any laws. I'm not for recording people's conversations. That ain't something I'm going to be doing. I'm not for bringing out the details of a private offer sheet. That wasn't right. He could have done what he did without doing all that, but he's a master marketer. He's been quiet for a while. People are like wondering what's going on. There's nothing that this is more noise than he brought up that he could do with any type of news story or anything like that, and got some more people to sign up. I signed up to his Stop Big Con because I want to see what the information is. The information can never be a bad thing. But here's the takeaway. The part that everybody's missing, except Tim Pool get it, Ian Crossland gets it, but Stephen, I understand what you're doing, but the answer against big tech is not a group of factions all over the place. I Googled this. Alphabet owns Google and YouTube. YouTube has 2.6 billion users. 80 million premium YouTube people signing up. 52% of the internet uses it at least once a month. 122 million daily users. Steven Crowder thinks he can get 350,000 subs to start with Mug Club, which is excellent. That'd be revenue of 3.5. If it's $10 a month, it'd be 3.5 mil a month if he could do that. 350K subs for him. YouTube has 2.6 billion users, 80 million premium users, 122 million daily users. So I support Steven. I would take my money and rather support Steven than Daily Wire. But don't get it twisted, y'all. There's going to have to be a way. I don't have the answers. I'm not any expert in this field. You've got to consolidate power, period. On the alt platform side. And I know that sounds bad because I'm a decentralized guy, libertarian. But there has to be, that's why Ian's working on this thing where he's saying, well, we can centralize a platform, but nobody's tied into each other. Almost like some type of Bitcoin type of podcasting style. As of right now, I hate to say it, consolidating underneath Rumble is the best. Rumble has, I think they have something like 78 million users. Even they are a drop in the bucket. And those aren't premium users. So YouTube is killing. That's just YouTube, not even the other big tech. So you've got to, these alt people, and Daily Wire is not one of the alt people. And that's all that Steven Crowder's really exposing. But anybody on the alt side of things, that's why you saw Russell Brand go over there. You even seen Fresh and Fit go over there. I seen Tekashi 6ix9ine go over there. We seen Tate go over there. We see Don Jr. go over there. Grandpappy Don Jr. is over on Rumble. Everybody's kind of going over Glenn Greenwald, Tulsi Gabbard. I think Rumble is going to have to be that platform for now. And I wish that they would do some type of decentralized option, or I don't know how that looks. But for Steven Crowder, if he wants to work with somebody, it would have to me, Rumble's the obvious choice. You've got locals for your Mug Club, and you got Rumble for your YouTube alternative. And you need to get people together. All these little bands of people slinging rubber bands at a big giant isn't going to work. If you want to even get to a David versus Goliath situation, somehow you've got to get these people, Gab, Odyssey, Rumble. I know these are people who don't like each other in many cases. Tim Pool, Crowder, Quartering. They all got to be in. And somehow, I don't know how that works. That's why Tim's like, I can't. Tim was actually talking about this in a different way on his show. He's like, I can't work with Crowder. I don't know how we could even make the money work. I don't know. Y'all need to sit down at a table. And so this was a good start for Crowder. Next step, I would like to see, and then Crowder's going on Tim Pool Monday. I'd like to see, and Tim Pool's had all the head people of big tech on there. I would like to see Elon, Chris Plowowski, I think that's the CEO of Rumble, Gab, Crowder, Tim Pool. Like, how crazy would that be to see them in a summit, do some public talking about it, and then talk about the real stuff behind go get a cigar and talk about it behind the door, closed doors. That's what you need to do. Find a way to do it where everybody can get their revenue sharing. You're going to have to do some type of revenue sharing. That's what they were talking about, is you sign up. Did Steven Crowder get you to sign up? And who knows if that would be perfect or what, but that's the type of thing you need to do. But I like the way I like the direction Steven Crowder is taking this, because I always looked at Daily Wire as establishment shill types. But now looking at it from the contract standpoint and how they're tied in, it clicks more. Let me know what you think.